Hello, I'm Emily Elias.
And I'm Tom Wiggins, and this is Desert Island Dips, the podcast where we pit condiment against condiment and ask, if you were trapped on a desert island, just which 5 dips would you take with you?
You can only take 5. Oh, it's like Sophie's choice of condiments.
I mean, that's the point though, isn't it? If it was easy, nobody would listen.
No.
And we wouldn't do this.
We're torturing ourselves mentally for you, the listeners. Fans of the program will already note that ketchup, brown sauce, English mustard, Vajika and sriracha are safe. They have made it onto the island, but could this be a game-changing episode? Get ready. It's time for the Italian stallion, marinara sauce. Do you have any thoughts about?
I thought it was just something you got in Subway with meatballs.
Yeah, it's more than that.
Oh, I thought you go, yeah, it is.
It is. That's it, Tom. Nailed it. You've been listening to Desert Island Dips. Follow us on social media. No, you are familiar with marinara sauce in that context.
And only that context. That's my point.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think this is just slightly edging on the North American sort of spectrum of condiment, as opposed to something that's like quite British. Mm-hmm. And we're going to start off, though, by going on a little journey to Italy.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. Whereabouts?
To Naples.
All right. Even nicer.
But before we get there, I would just like to do a quick Desert Island Dips recap for people who haven't necessarily listened to episode 1 catch up about some tomatoing.
Okay.
You know.
A tomato ketchup.
Yes.
Get it?
You're too clever for me. So that's the
best joke we've ever had.
We haven't had many, and that is by far the best one. In the late 1600s, a lot of European people did not eat tomatoes for 2 main reasons. Number 1, they thought they were poisonous because they looked like the dangerous nightshade berry, which in fact is poisonous.
I'd forgotten all about this stuff. Yeah, of course.
And number 2, there were rumors that aristocrats got sick from eating tomatoes, but it was in fact not the culprit. The culprit was that they were eating off of pewter plates that had a high lead content. Because tomatoes are high in acid, they easily leached the lead. Ooh. And people got sick from lead poisoning tomatoes.
Not tomato poisoning.
No, there's no such thing as tomato poisoning. We're going to have a literal tomato episode, this one.
All the way through.
The entire way. I'm not relenting. The first recipe of tomato sauce didn't appear until the 17th century, and it showed up in a cookbook called The Modern Steward by Antonio Latini. Antonio Latini, he worked for a Cardinal Antonio Barberini, and Barberini was like a cardinal nephew, which is this weird sort of like art hierarchy within the church, where he was like a kind of like a religious nephew to the Pope. That's kind of how I understand it. To Pope Urban VIII in Rome. Because I guess they didn't actually have their own families, so they just kind of adopted nephews. Either way, he's working for a fancy pants guy. Latini comes to Rome at the age of 16, and he works his way up in the household from an assistant cook to a waiter to a wardrobe attendant, and then to this position. It's said by Wikipedia, I couldn't find the actual source for it, but it said that he learned the theatrical carving skills expected of a maitre d'. Oh. So he was taking care of your theatrical carving needs.
Yeah. I didn't know there were any. Maybe it's something that we've lost and we didn't realise we were missing out on it.
I think we should revive theatrical carving.
Who does my theatrical carving? That's a good question you could ask people at parties. If there's ever a lull in conversation.
How was your Christmas and your theatrical carving?
Who does your... I'm looking for a new theatrical carver, and I just wondered who yours was, just in case.
Yeah, do you have a backup?
Could get them in.
Does your theatrical carver have a good accountant? Because I need a recommendation. So, Tony Latini,
he's in The Sopranos, right?
I don't know. He could be. He ends up leaving the Cardinals and gets a job working for Don Stefano Carlito Sacaldo.
Doing some theatrical carving or something else?
I think he's just kind of running his household and being in charge of what he's eating and how he's dressing and all those sorts of things.
And also, just in case someone needs some theatrical carving, he's got you covered.
He's got you covered
Yeah.
as a backup. And Don Stefano, he was the Spanish viceroy for Naples.
Okay.
So he wanted to, have like all the amazing food of that region. And he also wanted to have like a Spanish sort of like flair to it. So I think that's kind of where the idea of the tomato sauce came in. Keep in mind, the tomato sauce recipe that he wrote down isn't like the Italian ones that we know. It's more kind of like a salsa.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, but it was at least like they were using...
But is that the Spanish
I think that was like the
possibly?
Spanish influence of him working for this guy.
Okay, yeah.
Tony Latini, he publishes 1692, his book, which contains the first tomato sauce recipe. And I want to stick with Naples because this idea of a tomato sauce would then evolve from Latini's recipe. So Naples is a waterfront city. There's lots of fishermen. There's lots of sailors. They're obviously out on their boats all day.
Yeah.
They need something to sustain them that's going to be easy to make, like on a boat. You're not going to need a ton of ingredients. And you can quickly kind of like...
knock it up quick, smart. Yeah.
At their disposal.
Not a roast dinner.
Not a roast dinner. Yeah. At their disposal, they've got preserved tomatoes, tomato paste, water, some like lovely salt
That
water.
is, I think, one of the things that you do get an abundance of at sea. Yes.
And dried herbs.
Yeah.
So what do?
Put them all together?
Put them all together, simmer it down, eat it with bread.
Yeah.
Or if they're lucky enough to have caught some fish, with some fish, and you get...
Marinara sauce.
Marinara sauce. That is how we evolve from like a Spanishy sauce down to sort of the Italian tomato sauce that we are familiar with today. So it wasn't like itself, it was the meal. It was always kind of used as like a condiment
You
or
were dipping
dip.
stuff into it.
Yeah. It wasn't like the primary like focus of the thing. Marinara literally translates to sailor style.
That is good.
Yeah.
I suppose marin, yeah, it's when you say that, when you know that, it makes sense, but I never thought about it like that.
Exactly. And you might think like, oh, there would be fish or something in it. No. You have to keep the ingredients, according to a New York Times writer, very strict. And Julia Moleskin says it has no onions, no wine, no meatballs, no anchovies, no butter. It is only olive oil, ripe tomatoes, a hit of garlic, and a tiny bit of dried chilies and dried oregano.
Okay.
So that is like what we're working with here. I'm going to stay in Naples, but I'm going to kind of like put the timeline up 100 years or so.
That's fine. It's a nice place to spend 100 years. So.
Yeah. Around 1880, there's another food revolution happening. That is the...
Pizza?
The pizza!
I mean, it could have been pasta, but I've gone for pizza.
No, pasta, surprisingly. It came over with like Marco Polo, like 1300s. It was from the Chinese.
What?
Yeah.
It's not even Italian.
They like took the idea and used like their own ingredients that they had, like flour and all sorts of eggs.
Well, other stuff that goes into pasta. Yeah.
I made pasta once. It was less complicated than I thought, but it was a lot of work. But no, that sort of idea came from the Chinese.
Okay,
so it's not Italian. Yes, noodles.
Yeah.
So we're in Naples. We're having a lovely time. This is according to historian from the University of Denver, Carol Heltosky. She wrote the book Pizza, A Global History. 1889, King Umberto I and Queen Margherita.
Great. Oh, hang on. I see where we're going here.
Yeah. She visits Naples, and the legend has it they were bored of eating all their French haute cuisine. And so they asked for something different, something local from the area. And from the town came, from the local pizzeria, a pizza pie on a platter for her. And it only had cheese, tomato sauce, and basil, which would have been the colors of the newly established like Italian flag.
Yeah, I suppose it would, wouldn't it? Yeah, yeah.
And apparently it was a hit. Queen Margherita gave it the blessing, and boom,
that's
pizza craze
yeah.
all across Italy. So when immigrants started to leave Naples to head towards, say, the new land, the eastern seaboard of America, naturally, they brought their food traditions with them.
Of course, yeah.
And in the 19th and 20th century, a lot of the jobs that they were doing were factory workers. And so they weren't like trying to like set any form of like trendy statement by bringing pizza to work, but it just happened to be like an easy, delicious, hearty meal that they could fill their bellies with and then get on with their shift work. And pizza then sort of like exploded across America. So, okay, we've got pizza, we've got marinara sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Where do these two link?
I mean, I can't see the connection at the moment.
I mean, they're from the same town. You figured like...
Yeah, but they're separate avenues, aren't they?
They're kind of being used in different ways.
Oh, what? Marinara sauce as a pizza dip?
Yeah, like to use marinara sauce as a dip for your pizza.
I mean, I don't really go in for dipping my pizza into condiments, which I think a lot of people find strange, but I've always been of the opinion that
one's for one and the other's for another.
You've got all your flavours on your pizza. If you need to flavour the pizza, then you've not put the right ingredients on it.
I disagree in the sense that like it's sometimes nice when you get to the crust.
Yeah, I'm actually talking a load of nonsense because I quite often use sriracha for crusts.
Because like in Vancouver, people will
But then that's the toppings have gone by that point. So,
yeah, like in Vancouver, people will like take like ranch or whatever garlic sauce and they'll just like pour it on top of the actual like body of the pizza.
Yeah, that's not for me.
I'm not a fan of that, but at the end when I'm left over with like my crust.
Like a dry crust, essentially. Yeah.
But the two of these items, pizza and marinara sauce for dipping, didn't come together till like way late in the game. The original genesis of this we have to start off with would be the breadstick, I guess, is the precursor to dipping your pizza crust.
Okay.
And a little restaurant called Pizza Hut.
I think I've heard of it.
Have you?
It's Italian, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the Italian restaurant from Wichita, Kansas, founded by brothers Dan and Frank Carney.
Yeah.
Super Italian, right?
Very. Yeah.
So these guys were like 28. They borrowed $600 from their mom. And at the time...
And they went to Pizza Hut.
And at the time, they thought, hey, we're going to start like a dine-in casual restaurant. And customers came in and they would get like free breadsticks with their meal. And the customers demanded that they would get marinara sauce with the breadsticks.
To eat the breadsticks with.
Well,
so breadsticks are very dry.
Yeah. So it wasn't like the Carney brothers being like geniuses.
It's not their idea.
Yeah, it was completely a customer-driven idea of that they would take some of the marinara pizza-based sauce that they were using and use it as like a warm side for breadsticks.
Okay.
So...
That's making me quite hungry.
Yeah, I should have ordered pizza, shouldn't we?
I know, just some breadsticks and a dip.
And a side fun fact, that first Pizza Hut is currently on the Wichita State University campus.
Oh, right. That's a little bonus for the students, isn't it?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
The world's first Pizza Hut every day.
It'd be amazing. It didn't look very like glamorous as a building. It just kind of looked like a weird outhouse. It didn't...
Yeah, I know, but you have been to a Pizza Hut before, right? They're not glamorous places.
Wait, what? Yes, they are.
No, they are grim.
Pizza Huts are amazing.
Hey,
the lunch
everyone.
buffet is it's like a dream.
Come in and get as much salad as you want. Thanks, Pizza Hut.
Did you know Pizza Hut was like the top buyer of kale up until like the recent sort of boom of kale as a superfood?
Is it not the people of North London?
Because they were using it as garnish in the lunch buffet. It wasn't on their pizzas. It was used as like a garnish garland for like the salad bar.
I bet it was all going to waste as well.
Yeah, 100% was. Nobody thought, oh, I'm going to eat the garnish. Anyway, clearly the Carney brothers were like brilliant and they franchised out Pizza Hut. And by 1977, it had 4,000 different outlets and the Carney brothers cashed out huge. They sold it to PepsiCo for $300 million US. I don't really know what happened to Dan Carney, but Frank stays on the chairman of the board with Pizza Hut until 1980.
Make sure it's following the Pizza Hut idea that he had in his mind.
He's in the PepsiCo family. Yeah. He's having a nice time.
Yeah.
So 1982, there's another pizza chain that is coming onto the scene. For me, this would be my go-to pizza chain in my childhood, and that was Little Caesars. Have you ever heard of Little Caesars?
Hang on, isn't that the one that Macaulay Culkin phones up in Home Alone?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought that was fictional.
No, that is a real thing. They offer like a $5 pickup special, so you can get like a full pizza for $5. Just pop in.
But you have to go and get it.
Yeah.
I mean, that whenever any pizza place says collection only and you get this deal, I'm like, that is not the point of view.
Oh my gosh. It was
Unless you live next door.
Yeah, I did live next door. And that was like, as a kid who comes from like a single mother family, I don't know how many meals I had of a $5 Little Caesar pizza.
$5 pizzas, yeah.
Oh, delicious. Anyway, they made this product called Crazy Bread. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Basically, it was like...
Struggle to see what's crazy about bread. It
was like a pizza kind of crust, sort of like in a breadsticks for format, and it was tossed in Parmesan and garlic, and it was delicious.
Sounds crazy.
That was... They're so crazy, they're selling you extra bread. And this product was like, now we're having, not just pizzas delivered to homes, but breadsticks also delivered to homes.
Breadstick delivery, yeah.
It was revolutionary. Sure.
Sometimes you just need breadsticks and you can't be bothered to go out or the shops are closed and, that service needs to be available.
Wait, are people arguing against more carbs? Nobody's arguing against more carbs.
No.
So while Little Caesars is selling Crazy Bread, it took them 3 years to figure out they should probably add a dipping sauce to that. And they added Crazy Sauce, which is a marinara variant.
Crazy marinara. What makes that crazy?
I don't know. I think probably because they didn't want to get into like big branding problems.
Yeah. Just a little sprinkling of crazy.
Then in 1984, Papa John's gets into this
Papa
market.
John's. Papa John's is my go-to pizza joint of my adult life.
Is it?
Yeah.
That is interesting to know about you.
Well, I very much do not rate Domino's.
Yeah, Domino's is awful.
And I haven't yet found... for me, there's a distinct difference between your sort of rubbish, I've got a really bad hangover and I can't be bothered to cook, I've got no food in, takeaway pizza, and your sort of fancier one.
Your high-end, look at this beautiful wood-fired, thin-crusted, authentic out the yang thing.
That's a separate thing for me.
That's a going-out pizza.
If we're talking, we're talking the former, Papa John's all the way.
Interesting. I think my, dream is still Pizza Hut pizza, is my, my gross one. Not gross, my,
But they didn't even do delivery until quite recently.
Pizza Hut in this country?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. In my country... Where I'm from, Pizza Hut always delivered.
Where I'm from. No, it was a strictly eat-in establishment for quite a long time.
That's interesting.
Pizza Hut delivery is a fairly recent addition.
I will get back into Papa John's, but first, can I make 2 Emily Elias gross confessions?
Yeah, obviously.
Number 1.
Just 2?
These are 2 Pizza Hut based confessions. When I was a kid, they used to have this program where you would read a book and you get your parents to sign a thing, and then you'd take it to the teacher and they would give you a voucher for a personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut. Emily Elias,
my kind of teaching,
ran a scam on this. Because I was a terrible child and I would lie about reading books so that I would get the signatures to get the free pizza.
I thought the point would be that this was some sort of way of proving that you had read the book in order to get it.
Yeah, but there was never any follow-up questions from my teacher, and she just had a booklet of vouchers in her desk. Yeah. And so she would just be like, oh, congratulations. You took 3 days reading a novel. You're a really great reader.
A book a day.
Yeah, it's you're such an avid reader, Emily. No, I wasn't. I was scamming you for pizza vouchers.
And your mum never caught onto this?
No, because my mom was just
just go and get a pizza.
I think my mom...
leave me alone.
I think my mom was just kind of yeah, we could use some free pizza.
Yeah. Yeah. She was
they're stupid enough not to call you on this. Fine.
Do you want me to sign any more of those pizza vouchers?
The second Pizza Hut based confession I would have is that the lunch buffet is $7.99 for all you could eat when I was a teenager, which as a teenager, that's kind of a steep price point because you don't really have a lot of money coming in.
Sounds like quite a lot to me, yeah.
So I used to line my book bag with either a plastic bag or a Tupperware. And I would...
Fill up.
Yeah. I would take way too much pizza at the buffet. I'd go back to my table and I would slyly put the pizza into the Tupperware in my bag. And then I would eat it later.
I mean, we don't need to get into the joys of cold pizza, do we?
No, but it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it's great. So, yeah, well done.
Okay. Sorry, that was such a tangent.
Adam Buxton once admitted to doing that on his podcast about going to a hotel breakfast buffet and basically taking enough food to have for lunch as well. And
you've got to.
There were a lot of people that were outraged by that.
Really?
Yeah.
Please send me your outraged emails.
Louis Theroux, I think, was outraged by it. I think he was the guest on it that week, and he was like, "You can't do that."
Why? Why? It's not like I'm taking like a plate of cooked eggs out of the like.
I think the point was you could take whatever you want.
Yeah, it's a free for all. Okay. Tangent over. 1984, Papa John's.
Yeah.
They get the full marks, full credit for marketing specifically designed dips for pizza.
Oh, really? They started the sort of putting it in with the...
Dips are no longer for breadsticks. They are for pizza.
Yeah.
This is their innovation and also a big cash cow for them.
As in you had to pay for them separately?
Exactly.
Okay, because I was going to say, you don't get them by default.
No.
But I think you do with Domino's, don't you?
Maybe. I've
not
not ordered Domino's in about a bajillion years, so I cannot be any form of authority on that. But we've had a lot of people saying that they specifically want us to do an episode about Papa John's garlic sauce.
My friend Laura wants to find a supermarket available garlic and herb Domino's one.
Domino's one?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which apparently has got like more calories in it than the actual pizza.
Well, I'll say
which is
that
probably why it's so delicious.
the Papa John's like big innovation was not only that they were just doing like a marinara, they were doing a garlic sauce, which is like equal parts butter, garlic, and salt.
What? Equal?
Yeah.
Blimey.
That's what the internet says. It's equal parts.
Again, probably why it's so delicious.
It's equal parts heart attack is what that is. And you can buy that in like an XL jug, like 3 kilograms.
Just pour it on.
Yeah, for $20 in the States. Domino's was actually the last to hop on the breadstick marinara train, and they only started doing it in 1992.
Okay. Isn't Papa John a baddie or something? Didn't he do something bad recently?
He is a baddie. During a conference call in 2018, Forbes magazine reported that he used the N-word.
That was right.
John Schneider is the president, founder, and CEO, or at least he was until
So Papa John
happened.
isn't a real person? Was that what we...
No, he is a real person.
Oh, he is?
John Schneider. This is his
sorry,
last name. He's like since apologized for it.
Yeah.
I personally... Papa John's is litigious, so I didn't voice my feelings, but I used some hand gestures.
Yeah, but it doesn't, like, this is all true. You can
true.
You can say what you want about people as long as it's true.
I'm not going to say it. I'm going to hand gesture and use my fingers to do the talking.
Are they not franchised in this country?
I don't know. I think they are.
I mean, it's not obviously still not great, but, you know, maybe...
It's terrible. It's awful.
Maybe that's a step.
That's his worldview.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I don't want to give you my money.
Yeah.
I will use my power as a consumer. I appreciate that you have a different relationship with Papa John's, but...
I'm going to need to find a new pizza place, though, aren't I?
Now Papa John's is in this big, like, rebranding sort of campaign, and they've decided to use the power of Instagram influencers.
Oh, no.
Which makes me hate them a little bit more.
Oh, no. Everyone does that now, though, don't they?
Obviously, like I've talked about pizza a lot, but there's a weird back and forth between Papa John's and Pizza Hut, and I would like at this moment in time,
in what, on social media, or
no,
in real life, or what?
In real life, in 1994, Frank Carney, do you remember him?
Yeah,
the Carney brother who founded Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Well, he left Pizza Hut. And here, I'm going to let this commercial from 1998 for Papa John's that aired in the U.S. explain what happened.
As a highlight of our franchisee meeting, we have the co-founder of Pizza Hut, Mr. Frank Carney.
Recently, the retired co-founder of Pizza Hut did something surprising. He bought a Papa John's franchise.
Sorry, guys. I found a better pizza.
Today, he owns over 70 restaurants.
Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza.
He's got it.
Try our Papa's Choice. That's a large pizza with your choice of up to 5 toppings for just $10.99.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
I wasn't expecting such a sort of... It's almost Shakespearean.
He ditched Papa John's he ditched Pizza Hut for Papa John's.
Who would have... I mean, that's got to be up there with the biggest sort of... Like,
that is a corporate FU.
Yeah.
Like, what happened in that Pizza Hut boardroom?
To be honest, I don't know why a film hasn't been made about it already.
I thought the founder with Michael Keaton was a bit, like, lame.
Is that the McDonald's one?
Pizza Wars. Why is there not a Papa John's Pizza Hut Pizza Wars episode or movie?
I'm almost speechless.
Really?
I just can't. I don't know. how to respond to it.
This is so unlike you.
This is like when Glenn Murray went and played for Crystal Palace.
Do you feel...
It's fine he came back. He realised that it was...
the errors of his way.
He was like, I don't want to play for those scumbags anymore. And now he's back and, everything's good again.
Do you think there'll be like a postscript to this story where he like ditches his restaurant, his Papa John's franchises and goes back to Pizza Hut?
Goes back to Pizza Hut. Well, you'd think that if it was going to happen, it would have happened around the controversy that we were just talking about.
Yeah, that's a true story. It didn't.
It
if it did, it didn't make headlines because I vigorously searched.
I mean, it's just so very sort of, I'm not going to say petty, but it's very rare that a company makes such a big deal out of something sort of behind the scenes.
Like that they would use this like sort of like corporate intrigue as a ad campaign.
Surely like 99% of people who eat at either of those places have no idea who that person is, don't care who he is. And like that commercial is for the directors of Pizza Hut. That is not for the common man. That's not for the people who are getting their $10.99 Papa John's special. Yeah, they're like, oh, I must go to that one then instead. Like, I don't think so.
So, okay, we've got like a pizza as a dipping sauce, which I think I'm very familiar with now, at least when you order a pizza that you can get. Mm-hmm. But in the UK, I think your first introduction to marinara sauce would have happened in 1996 with the opening of the first Subway in Brighton.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Did you know that?
The first one was in Brighton?
The first Subway in the United Kingdom was opened in Brighton.
I did not know that.
I know. Don't you feel like we should go to Brighton and have some form of like...
Is it? I'm probably asking too much. Do you know which one it is?
I do not. Yeah. In Canada, I think marinara sauce comes hand in hand with mozzarella sticks. Mm. That's like...
I like mozzarella sticks.
And like at McDonald's in the UK, you can get mozzarella sticks, but it comes with salsa, not marinara.
Incorrect.
Yeah. I think you're getting something wrong there, McDonald's. Or maybe it's just like a branding name that they're not...
Who knows what goes on.
But have you seen the new Marvel film that's coming out for Captain Marvel?
Nope.
It's going to be one of those big
It's going to be another boring superhero film.
Yeah, it's going to be like the next big superhero film.
I reckon, right, what will happen is that he will win at the end. She.
Captain Marvel is a woman played by Brie Larson.
That's fine.
Okay. You don't have a problem with that casting your choice that she was always a woman, so they decided to get a woman to play her.
I just have no familiarity with the character whatsoever. So
well, I think you're going to get a lot...
like Captain America,
Like Brie Larson, she was in The Room. Not that horrible, like the one with the...
Room.
Yeah, Room.
Yeah.
Not The Room.
And
I think she's about to like...
Fire.
Yeah.
Something else recently.
She's going to like kick off and become like... she's going to be a huge star for the rest of our lives. And... interestingly, while promoting this film for Captain Marvel, she was doing an interview with The Hollywood Reporter. Apparently, is so addicted to marinara sauce that she brings her own with her to restaurants because she loves a mozzarella stick and she has no time
for them getting the condiment wrong.
No time for a subpar marinara sauce. So she brings this brand called Rose, R-A-O. It's an American brand. I've never heard of it before. She brings their marinara sauce with her everywhere.
That's good.
That's dedication.
Is it in a special travel package?
I think she must
had one made.
She's gone to Muji. She's bought some little conditioner bottles, and instead of
they are the correct size to be taken on planes.
Oh
right?
yeah.
She's not stupid.
It makes me like her more.
Yeah.
Anytime I hear somebody is like that dedicated to condiments that they're bringing their own, points for.
Absolutely. It feels like quite a niche one to have with you at all times like that, but.
Like she'd only eat it with mozzarella sticks. I don't know. Like if you could think of any sort of like tomato-based replacement, like you could have marinara sauce with fries. You could have it with the whole world of.
You could have it with the whole world.
The whole world of like deep fried carbohydrates that we love to put into our bodies.
Yeah, it
would enhance the flavor of any of that. It's like anyway. Rouse. I kind of did some Googling about that because I was not familiar with the brand.
Never heard of it. No.
And it has a very Trumpian connection.
Oh, not again.
But an interesting Trumpian connection. Okay. Vanessa Trump, she is filed for divorce from Donald Trump Jr.
Okay, I was going to say I didn't know who that was. So
her family money is marinara sauce. She's a marinaris.
From this brand? Or
Yeah. I found like one story, because obviously they're going through a divorce right now.
Yeah.
And so there's like lots
There
of
must
like
be people writing about them.
like hot gossip.
Yeah.
And in the New York Times in a 2006, she described her meeting with her first time she met Donald Trump and her subsequent husband. Can I read you this story? Because I think it's hilarious. So this is Vanessa Trump talking. I was at this fashion show, recalling her meeting in 2003. Donald Trump came up to me with his son. He said, "Hi, I'm Donald Trump, and I want to introduce you to my son, Donald Trump Jr." The three engaged in a brief and awkward conversation, and at the intermission, the elder Trump, again, like noticed her nearby, and he came up and said, "Hi, I don't think you've met my son, Donald Trump Jr." And Vanessa Trump recalls responding, "Yeah, we just met like 5 minutes ago." 6 weeks later, at a birthday party at a New York restaurant, they were introduced for a third time by a mutual friend, and neither of them remembered the other. She says, "We talked for an hour, and then it suddenly clicked. Wait, you were at the fashion show. Wait, you were the one with the retarded dad."
You're not allowed to use that word, are you?
No, you are not, but she did. I'm quoting her.
Well, I mean, she's married to a Trump, so it's not really surprising that she's...
This is a quote from the New York Times, the paper of record.
Blimey. And that was enough that she was like, "I think I should get married to you."
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm in for this whole Trumpian world.
What a strange...
Different time in 2003 when they met, though, so...
Of course, yeah. Well, it's a shame that the marriage didn't work out, but...
Is it? Maybe she's got her, like, Marinara fortunes to, like...
As long as she can fall back on the Marinara dynasty, then good luck to her.
Have a new happy life
Find someone better.
With your sauce.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Have a happy life with your sauce. No one needs human interaction and comfort and love if you've got loads of sauce.
I think Brie Larson would argue that is true.
She might do.
What do you think? What do you think, Tom? Like, what did you put on the island?
Oh, right. I thought you were going to say, "Oh, I agree with that."
No.
Yeah, maybe. No.
Really?
No.
I would.
What?
I would replace ketchup with marinara sauce.
Absolutely not.
I think that it is like in the same tomato-based family, but it actually has a deeper, richer, nice flavor to it. And while you don't necessarily have like the vinegary punch and the sugar of a ketchup, I think that it does like, it can enhance the flavor profile of so many different foods. I would put marinara sauce on the island.
But I mean, as I said at the beginning, I've only ever had it in a Subway.
But think outside
it's not part of my life.
Think outside of the box.
All of the others, part of my life, a significant part of my life.
But okay, it is diverse. It works with pasta.
So is ketchup.
It works with pizza. It works with bread. It works with fries. It works. But it tastes nicer. It has more depth of flavor to it.
If it was that simple, this wouldn't be the exercise that it is.
I think that where marinara falls down is that it's
not ketchup.
It is too closely associated with being a pasta sauce and not necessarily like as a dipping condiment in this country.
Yeah.
So I think you're like...
I just don't think it's very widely used here.
It isn't widely used here, but it should be. It's like when you went to university and you found out that like people up north were using gravy like everywhere, and you were like...
Mine, that does.
Yeah. It is like Italian gravy. Like, I love Italian food. It is just like, it makes everything taste better.
Well, you better hope that your island is off the coast of Italy, and...
That would be a lovely island.
You can't get rid of ketchup. That's absurd.
Why?
Because it's bloody ketchup, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's like it runs the condiment world.
Okay.
If you like getting rid of oxygen.
If you did an experiment where you spent a week using marinara sauce over ketchup, I think that week of your life would be one of the most enjoyable weeks of your life.
I completely disagree.
Like, put it on a hot dog. Oh, yum. Pizza hot dog. Yum, yum, yum. Everything's now got like a sort of like a pizza, garlicky, yummy flavor to it.
Pizza.
What? Who doesn't? I'm sorry. That's insane to me.
So there's absolutely no way.
We've agreed that we both have to say yes. I cannot obviously sell you like hard enough on this.
No.
But my personal island again, would look different to yours.
Of course. And everyone has their own personal island.
As this 2-man community island where we're working together, we have to mutually agree. So I will step back from the marinara sauce, but I would encourage you to use it more.
Not for a whole week on everything.
Not on everything, but just like where you would use ketchup.
As a ketchup replacement.
Yeah.
Ketchup replacement service.
Not being like, have a stir fry with some marinara sauce on it. No, I'm not a monster.
Or like a stir fry pizza.
Yeah.
That'd be weird, wouldn't it?
Oh, I would probably eat it. I would eat it.
It might be nice, actually.
Carbs on carbs on carbs with salt? Yes, please.
That's all we've got time for this week, I'm afraid, to end with, again, another sauce being
disappointment.
Rejected. But, we can't. This is the point of the exercise, it's difficult. No one said that this was going to be easy when we started.
Hey, episode 36, pat on back. We made it this far.
It's a lot of episodes. You can get in contact with us if you have
strong feelings about marinara sauce.
About it. If you've maybe recently done a week of ketchup replacement service with marinara, let us know how it went. We're on Twitter at Desert Island Dip. We're on Facebook at Desert Island Dips.
Well, it's like search Desert Island Dips.
Yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
And if you have any fun photos of you eating and enjoying condiments, please send them to us, and we will find your face on the Desert Island Dips Instagram account.
That would be weird, wouldn't it?
Well, it just saves me from having to come up with content.
Pictures of other people eating
Supply
condiments.
us your own fun condiment uses.
If you've got like a little bottle that you take your sauce around with you.
If you do a Brie Larson and you carry a condiment with you wherever you go, please tell us what that condiment is. We would be very interested to find out.
And the vessel that you use.
Yes.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back again very soon with another episode of
Desert Island Dips. You never sing it with me.
Goodbye.